and welcome to the Events Uncensored podcast. I am here with my colleague, Sydnee Valdes. Sydnee,
Hey guys.
she is our venue manager for all of our events, and she's been with Bronson Hospitality for the last 6 years. So
Actually 7.
7 years
Yeah,
now. I can't believe it.
I know. COVID wiped everything out and I forgot about that year.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Well, Sydnee, if you can go ahead and just give everyone a brief introduction about what you do for Bronson, how you've been involved over the last few years, and how you've grown. We'd love to have our clients learn more about you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're now in 2021. I was fresh out of, I wouldn't even say college, because it was a big season of change, and I made the decision I didn't really want to go to school anymore. I was just done, and I had a connection to Bronson through another friend who at the time was leading, Lombardi House, because as our first venue, Lombardi House was really our kickoff as to, the venue industry that we're now in, now with 3 venues. And I was working retail, I was nannying, and I was just at the time not thrilled about my life. And I got invited to Lombardi House's holiday event. And I went, saw my friend, and she's like, "What are you doing right now?" And I'm like, honestly, very unhappy.
I really don't know.
Yeah, I'm not
Funny
thrilled
you
right now.
ask.
Exactly. So it was a very much of a right place, right time. But she goes, "Come help us out." I'm like, great. So I actually assisted in like a church event that we hosted, funny enough, with there was a major band, worship, a couple pastors, and they were like, "Oh, do you work here?" And I was like, I didn't know what to say, but I knew I want to work here. So at that point, I was helping more and more and more. And then officially it was like, "Okay, you're now one of our site managers." So that turned into a season, which turned into a year, which turned into, okay, now you're going to be doing your site visits. So at that point, you're meeting clients, you're meeting brides, you're meeting production, and you're starting to walk them through the property. And Lombardi House, as our first, it is still a hidden gem, but it was something that nobody had ever seen. Because where do you see a barn in the heart of Hollywood? And
Absolutely.
So we started with that, and then it kind of just grew. And I think in the last 7 years, and seeing how Bronson Hospitality has grown and really moved into an event and venue industry is incredible. I'm so blessed to be part of the journey. And, we started with Lombardi, and then we moved to Casita Hollywood, and now we have Vermont, and so many bookings, so many crazy stories, though. That's one thing that's for sure, is memories, bookings, people, the best people, the most memorable, I think the big thing for me is the love aspect too.
Yeah,
So
being able to create memories for your clients and actually seeing all of that come to fruition is such a special part about the events industry.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, thank you so much for sharing how you got involved. I am now on the team as well. I joined Sydnee and Candace on the team back in April, so I've been around for about 7 months. Getting kind of crazy.
Jeez.
It's been that long.
I can't believe it just flew by.
It really does, especially after the year that we had to be in LA and have everything open and just completely going full force in the industry. It has absolutely flown by.
Mm-hmm.
But I also want to give a little introduction as for my role in Bronson. I am working along Sydnee to also do site visits and bookings for all of the venues.
Yeah.
Lombardi House, Casita, and then we are working on Vermont as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I actually got started when I was in college as well.
Yeah, you were involved in this industry long before us too.
Yeah, I got my start down in East Tennessee, where I worked for a venue. So that's kind of how I got my start in the industry. And then I ended up moving back to Ohio and worked for myself for a couple years, where I was a planner and did that in the Hocking Hills region of Ohio, which is one of their touristy regions. I'm actually from Columbus, Ohio originally, and had lived there the majority of my life. And then once COVID hit, my boyfriend and I decided that we were really interested in coming out to California. He's in the music industry and got signed. So it was a big reason for us to come out here. But I also knew that I wasn't willing to make the move unless I had something for myself.
And to kind of interject, one thing I have to say about Reagan, she before even moving here, before even kind of taking that jump. She sent a resume, one of the best resumes I've actually ever seen. And when I looked at it, I was like, this girl knows what she's doing. I think this would be great. And when we started out, it was like, we're going to be approaching a busy season, but I think approaching was the wrong word because we literally jumped into the busiest season ever, and you really just took lead, took charge, handled it so well, and caught on super quick, and very much almost seeing like a small portion of myself kind of being like, here we go, we got this. And that's why I have to commend you. Like, I just think this is such a great opportunity. And now look at what you're doing, what we're doing. And I think Ohio, it's long gone.
Long, long in the
LA.
past now. Yeah. No, I'm super excited. Between Sydney and I, we're just really excited. I think about this podcast too, to give our clients a new option to really learn about us personally. For me, it's like one thing to, be sending emails and text messages and phone calls that are brief, but to really have time to sit down and introduce ourselves and talk about ourselves. And our goal for this podcast is to bring on a lot of our preferred vendors and a lot of other people in the industry so that our clients can really get to know them on a personal level and maybe understand a little bit more in depth of conversations between us that maybe they wouldn't rather have behind emails. So yes,
I think, and that's such a great point to make, because we're not we're not the typical venue. We run as a blank canvas, and as a blank canvas, there's so many vendors, and and this is no diss to any venue. Every venue is so unique and offers so much, but we offer the option of just being so open, and we want our clients to have the day that they've always envisioned. Meaning, if you want a piñata with gummies inside of it, heck yeah. If you want, that's not for everyone, but if you want a certain aspect of, I want red flowers everywhere and then a llama to come in, by all means. If you want black tie with a food truck, bring it on in. I think that's always one of our favorites, having like that food truck aspect. But a big shout out, like Reagan was saying, is a vendor friendly space, because we want different vendors, different clientele. We want different aesthetics to every space, because we want it to always look different. And I know that a lot of clients come in, they don't want the same thing, they don't want the same meal, they don't want the same flowers. So we love to have that. Well, bring whoever you want in, bring your florist, bring your your baked goods, your cake, your photographer, your DJ, bring whoever you want. I think like where we've experienced, and you've been doing this for so long, everything, someone wants the new cutting edge. So
we're so lucky to live in LA too. There are so many unique and creative vendors that bring such special like features and experiences to the venues. So to really just highlight all of that. And I think there's a lot of different creative people out here that, a lot of clients wouldn't even think about. Like, we've seen fire dancers where they were about to spark up in the middle of casita, and we're like, no, like LED, please. Like, you cannot just burn fire in the middle of our venue.
So going back, by the way, we're a very fun venue. We love to see all of the creativity and everything. There are a couple things that we do have that have been like, hold on, where we love seeing the confetti bomb cannons, but some people don't even, I didn't even realize that some people don't even allow, any form of a candle, any form of a confetti. And we're like, well, yeah, bring it on in. But the fire flame for sure was when I was like, you texted me and you're like, yeah, they thought that they could. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Not indoors.
The idea is great and everything, but maybe just not inside.
Executing it is the hard part.
Right. And hey, we're welcome to anything, like Sydnee said. So, well, Sydnee, thank you so much for the introduction. I'm really excited to continue this process with you and have everybody learn more about the two of us throughout this. But thank you again for listening to the Uncensored podcast, and we can't wait to have you guys on next time.
Bye, guys.